We often hear that masturbation is completely normal, but how much is too much? How many times a day can you engage in it without being considered addicted? And what if you can't stop? In this discussion, we will answer these questions and explore why you might want to reconsider this habit, which seems normal but can be a hidden trap for your life. Before we dive in, I want to apologize for the dramatic cover image. It was necessary to grab your attention on this important 21st century issue that weakens and harms both young people and adults, diminishing our willpower. In this video, we'll delve into the scientific and philosophical impacts on our brain and see what Stoicism can teach us about this vice. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bells so you won't miss any updates. Now, let's begin. Modern medicine clearly states that masturbation is a normal behavior, not only in humans but also observed in dogs and other mammals. However, this perspective on masturbation being normal wasn't always the case. Historically, masturbation was deemed immoral, especially for men, because it was seen as unproductive seed loss, hindering reproduction. For women, it was believed that masturbation could lead them to seek pleasure independently, distancing them from men. Additionally, there were claims that masturbation caused physical ailments, making it inadvisable. Fast forward to today, what do we know about masturbation, particularly regarding men who suffer from insomnia? It's known to induce sleep. According to the French Institute of Health and Medical Research, after orgasm, the male brain shuts down sexual desire. The cerebral cortex, which governs conscious thought, goes into rest mode after climax, aiding sleep. This is why many men feel sleepy after sexual activity. But what's the issue here? Despite its potential benefits, there is a hidden trap. Frequent viewers of our channel will recognize what I'm referring to. Masturbation triggers the release of dopamine in the brain, a hormone that enhances feelings of pleasure, calmness, stress relief, and reward. This pleasurable sensation can lead to addiction. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders has categorized excessive masturbation under hypersexuality disorder, which falls within the spectrum of obsessive-compulsive disorders. Another vice that can lead to both mental and familial destruction is the inability to control oneself, becoming a slave to one's own desires and a victim of lack of self-control. This can manifest in seeking relationships with prostitutes, engaging in sex with multiple partners, and, as we discussed in a previous video, the excessive consumption of pornography. These are all ways a dopamine-saturated brain seeks to achieve pleasure. Pay close attention. Addiction to masturbation stems from the chemicals released in the brain. As the brain adapts to the repeated release of these chemicals, it begins to crave the stimuli that generated the initial pleasure. Over time, your brain demands increasing amounts of dopamine to achieve the same level of pleasure experienced initially. This compulsion leads to a vicious cycle, where one must continually seek out opportunities to masturbate. Eventually, this can reach an exaggerated point where the brain, realizing the excessive dopamine release, starts to block receptors in an attempt to regulate itself. As a result, the person continues to masturbate but no longer experiences the same satisfaction, leading to increased frustration. This cycle is akin to the behavior of a smoker who can't quit, someone who consumes chocolate until they feel sick, or an alcoholic who drinks excessively. At this point, you might be wondering what Stoicism has to do with all of this. Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, masters of self-control and wisdom, offer unique insights into pleasure and lust. They explored human passions deeply, leaving a legacy that still resonates today. For the Stoics, masturbation wasn't merely about seeking physical pleasure. It was seen as an exercise in self-awareness and a means to explore the boundaries of body and mind. They viewed it as an opportunity for personal growth and true freedom. In their philosophy, mastering worldly passions and pleasures was a triumph that elevated the human spirit. Epicurus famously asserted that it is not indulgence in pleasure, but self-control that defines a good person. In this context, the ability to enjoy pleasure while maintaining self-awareness is what distinguishes someone who has achieved a higher level of self-mastery. Rather than being enslaved by our desires, we should strive to be their masters. Seneca's philosophical reflections remind us that Stoic contemplation of masturbation isn't about repression, but about deep understanding and self-control. It's about directing our emotions on a journey of conscious self-exploration, finding meaning not in fleeting satisfaction, but in comprehending and embracing our deepest inclinations. From the Stoic perspective, every action has consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the natural order of the universe. When we succumb to intense desires, such as uncontrolled masturbation, we lose our harmonious connection with nature, a connection highly valued by the Stoics. We become prisoners of our desires, drifting away from true inner peace. Compulsive masturbation can lead to an emotional storm where guilt, shame, and dissatisfaction become our constant companions. The Stoics teach us to control our intentions and emotions through introspection and self-regulation. By consciously facing our emotions, we learn to manage them in a healthy way. The Stoics encourage us to find inner peace within ourselves, emphasizing that true satisfaction comes from self-mastery and the ability to find joy in simplicity and virtue. Allow me to share an inspirational story. I know someone who once struggled with compulsive masturbation, seeking temporary refuge and pleasure, but facing emotional turmoil afterward. By immersing themselves in Stoic teachings and practicing self-control and self-regulation, this person experienced a profound transformation. They learned to confront their desires and emotions consciously, finding genuine joy and self-control. Today, they live a life of inner peace and authenticity, free from the slavery of fleeting desires. True satisfaction comes from living in alignment with our deepest principles and values. When we give in to temporary desires, we lose sight of what truly matters in life. Compulsive masturbation can divert us from our noblest goals and lead us away from the true happiness found in virtue and inner peace. By practicing meditation and mindfulness, we can cultivate the mental serenity needed to resist temptations and face our emotions healthily. This compulsion becomes a barrier to mental serenity, dragging us into cycles of regret and steering us away from the tranquility found in self-control and moderation. So, my friend, what are you doing with your life? Do you believe that sitting at home, watching explicit videos, and seeking pleasure in such ways will make you confident and successful? Do you think that wasting your time and energy on such activities will help you attract the right partner? If you're a woman, do you think this behavior will attract men? No, it won't. Think wisely, my friend. I encourage you to write in the comments, I am a powerful person. I have control over my mind. I choose to do what motivates and improves me. Thank you for staying with me. Please like the video and subscribe for more.